I've realized I've gone into default mode, and this is not actually a gacha review, so I shouldn't have this as the opening card. So yeah, there we go. And immediately let's get rid of it. Yeah, we don't have an intro for this one because, well, we'd have an intro. One was nature Gabata speaking, obviously. But you have seen that we are not here today for a gacha review. We are also not here for a Minecraft review. This is something that KW and I were talking about yesterday, the possibility of starting up a Star Stable Online review. Because a vague mention of a thing that her friend made, presumably with her collaboration, it seems, and also went fairly viral, again proportionate to the channel at the time, and is very, very old. So very near to the beginning of both of their creative journeys in a game that I am 100% unfamiliar with. So I guess we shall invite the very guest that made the request in the first place, or made the request to enter, I should say. She identifies as female. She has 2 letters in her name. Introducing BB.
Here I am, everyone. Kabibi. Kabibi right here. Mamma mia.
It's a me, Kabibi. The new Nintendo character.
Mario,
Charles
I'm
Martinet
coming for your
retires and they
plumbing
actually
job.
Yeah, Charles Martinet retires, and instead of replacing like a new voice of Mario, they just get a new character altogether. It's Mario and Peach's canonical daughter, Kabibi.
Imagine Chris Pratt takes on like the permanent Mario role.
I thought you were gonna say imagine Chris Pratt takes on the role of Kabibi, but yeah, that too.
No, Chris Pratt Chris Pratt's been taking all the like classic childhood characters. What's your opinion on him as Garfield?
I haven't heard him as Garfield yet, therefore I have none.
Yeah, he's Garfield.
Oh no, I heard that he's going to be Garfield. I just haven't heard him as Garfield yet. Is what I meant to say.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't hate the voice as much as other people do.
It's alright, but I feel like they could have chosen a better actor for Garfield. Honestly, I'm going to admit this, but I think Chris Pratt is not a very good voice actor. I'm sorry. If you enjoyed the Mario movie, that's fine. All that. I bet
he wasn't a voice actor.
Yes, he wasn't a voice actor in those.
I think this is a big issue. So whenever I first told like the people in my life, hey, I want to be a voice actor, right? And at this point, I'm kind of like branched off a little bit more, where I'm okay with being a physical actor too, but I would still prefer a VA. But I remember for a while, everyone, whenever they were talking about my interests or like my future career, they're all like, oh, she's gonna be an actor. I'm like, no, not quite. There's a very specific kind, and there's a very specific set of skills needed for that kind. An actor is not necessarily a voice actor.
No, I know. What I mean is that I don't think he's good with like voicing like a character. So like every time I try to watch clips of him voicing Mario, I'm like, is it really Mario? He just sounds like Emmett from the Lego movie. He's like using the same voice.
Well, yeah, Emmett, whenever he finally grew up, instead of becoming a gruff, tough guy because he altered history, instead he becomes a plumber.
Well, talk about altering history. You enter a whole new franchise.
Yeah.
Work on that film theory.
Man, the new people taking over film theory really have their work cut out for them right at the start, huh?
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, that is their first challenge. By the power that has not been invested in me. I demand it so.
Right. So I'm gonna say, so this one does have the sequel, which I am in it. This one I am not. But however, I did somewhat help a little bit with this project by figuring out how to do the music, like figure out how to download music on the computer and everything like that. And so, but she did the rest of the work. So she actually inspired me to become a YouTuber. Because I wanted to play a game or whatever on YouTube, but I didn't know how to do that because Minecraft was kind of expensive back then and everything like that. And so
back then,
for me,
the price has varied multiple times. Yeah,
I still wouldn't necessarily call it cheap. Maybe cheaper than modern games, but like
expensive for the age that KW was at this time that she is referring to.
Yeah, and she and I were both very sick with the flu, and she discovered this game that was just came out actually.
Of course, this started out as a fever dream.
And and we're like, let's make accounts and play it together. And we've been like in each other's videos a lot. Matter of fact, actually, one point when I said, "Hey, can you be this keeper character in this old series that I did called Sleeping in the Keeper?" And she practically took over this show by adding her own scenes as a keeper. When I give her like the original idea how she's going to introduce herself as this keeper, this mysterious character or whatever, she's like, no, we're going to do something else. And like,
so it's kind of like Robin Williams as the genie then?
Yes, literally, she is literally like Robin Williams.
Or dare I say, Natasha as Mrs. Dysart?
Does she have debilitating depression?
That's Robin Williams the actor, not Robin Williams the genie.
Yeah, this is correct. This is true.
We just went over voice actors.
But also, I don't think the genie's name is canonically Robin Williams.
Yeah, so Robin Williams as the genie. Yeah, okay. So I'm referring to specifically the work that was put into that character, not necessarily the background of the actor themselves.
Yeah.
I don't think Robin Williams was sick with the flu right before voicing the genie. I could be wrong. I don't know. I wasn't born, but
he had other illnesses, specifically in the mental variety.
We know.
Yeah, she's been helping me. I've been helping her. Like, although like in the sequel, I think there was one scene that I was supposed to do, but didn't because I was doing something else. So my mom just took over my account to do that scene with my friend.
Oh wow. Well, okay. You mean like in the game itself? Okay.
Yeah, in the game. Okay. Like I gave my mom my account.
She didn't try to like put on like the voice of a child or something to.
No. She just played on my account so she can help.
Yeah, my projects have also had some actual progress finally.
This is not what we would talk about. This is not that you're saying it also has some actual progress. This is talking about stuff in the past, not talking about processes now. That segue doesn't work.
We're talking about processes of a series. I think it works. Yeah. No. Yeah. We have some references for some art finally for my stuff. A little bit of a rough draft, arguably. So that's exciting.
So, anyways, KW, what your story reminded me of the rise of a different YouTuber. Actually, Lanny Pator, when starting Yu Hakusho Abridged, the way that came to be was actually he was not sick, but he was injured because he used to play a lot of sports, and so when he was not able to do that or do his theater acting, he was just stuck at his house getting exceptionally bored, and at one point started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. And then decided, okay, I want to do my own thing. I've got some old Yu Yu Hakusho DVDs, and I have this one random video editor that came pre-installed on my dad's computer. Therefore, I will, I shall begin, and the rest was history. So, yeah, funny how the rise of YouTubers comes from like their lowest point sometimes.
Yeah, she and Aerobike are like really my inspirations to do YouTube and everything like that. They don't do YouTube very much anymore because they have other stuff going on in their lives, but we're so close friends and everything like that, still hang out. And I just want to say, without them, I wouldn't be doing YouTube, honestly.
Yeah, I have a lot of inspirations, and I don't really know. Like, is there a way to trace back, like, the originator of this sort of stuff? Like, is there, like, an actual... Because I don't know who's
My Day at the
actually
Zoo, if you
responsible.
go that far back.
Well, it's just because, like, it got me to thinking just now, right? Like, I don't actually know who I contribute my love of creating stories to, because there was so many different individuals over the years, and it's like I don't really know who's responsible for that one.
I mean, if we're going that far back, as far as the people who inspired you to create stories, then I think I might have to give that credit to Stan and Jan Berenstain. If we're going to like the origins of me starting writing things, I think I made a video talking about this and reading some stories that I quote unquote wrote when I was 5. I actually dictated the stories to my mum, who would write them down. I drew the pictures. That's how those came to be. Yes, and those were I say let's say heavily inspired by some Berenstain Bears books that I just been reading.
Yeah, you want to talk about that one where like it's a weirdly morbid story that I vaguely recall?
That's Dumbo and the Storm. I think that was like a little bit
that's
after.
the one. That is it.
Oh wow.
That was just my very, very dark fan fiction, because I did not enjoy the film Dumbo when I first saw it.
Yeah, Dumbo dies.
I think
I went through a very, very early emo phase.
I think...
like at the age of 5 or 6. I'm just a very like gloomy child for no reason. So
yeah, I wanted to write like a Three Musketeers story based on the Mickey Mouse Musketeers story, because I love it so much.
My first concepts for proper series release to the public, which still exists in a sense, although warped beyond what I initially had to such an extreme degree. Oh my god. But they initially started, I think the first one was a fan fiction Minecraft roleplay sort of thing based on Minecraft Diaries. That's where...
Yep.
That is actually where a character that Jacob would know as Ben originated from.
I do know this character as Ben.
Which I then tossed inside of a My Street fanfic on the wiki. And to this day, a lot of those concepts I still actually have lying around to be recycled at a later date.
Yeah, because you promised back in the day when season 1 was going on of that you were going to eventually make it into a script.
Yeah,
which
and
I still say good luck to that, because as we were writing it, a bunch of the stuff that we tried to reference, or the other people tried to reference, you and I tended to not try to step on the toes of the original series because we said it further in the timeline. But everyone else started using concepts that were like, oh yeah, so then Ian does this thing, and then we find out, yeah, Ian might not have been around to do a lot of the things that we said he did.
I'm still gonna sort of keep to that promise, but it's in the same way that if Disney promised to adapt a Greek myth, you know, like it exists, but it's unimaginably
loose.
loose.
I finished Percy Jackson today.
Yeah, no, it's a very loose concept that I have, and it's fitting in. I want to fit it in with other things that you did allow me to greenlight that are just so far down in the bucket list. Like, I think it's on like page 3 of my bucket list. Yes, I have a 3-page bucket list.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Richwood High, then you wouldn't have to.
Because it's not a Richwood High adaptation per se. It's a recycling of a lot of the concepts from there.
Oh, okay, that's not the same thing. I think a lot. I think that's not the impression you gave at the time.
Without me confirming a series on stream, I assure you, it's related.
Okay, that's just not the impression that you gave at the time, and what people.
No, because I didn't expect things to warp as much as they did. Admittedly,
the Butterverse wasn't a thing when you mentioned that, but again, not everything you have to do has to tie into the Butterverse.
No, but I like the Butterverse.
I mean, that's true, but I also like My Street. It's like, I understand the two things, never the twain are required to meet.
You can't carry on this conversation without spoiling stuff.
Then in that case, let's proceed to the actual video. After we read a couple of messages.
I had no way to segue my way out of that one.
It's good to hear you. Anyway, I'll be leaving in like 15 minutes, so this will be a good stream. Assuming we get through before I leave. It's probably got like 1 minute left. So
yeah, I was about to say, is Vaughn even here at this point?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hi, Vaughn, if you're still here.
Yeah, I do have the video description and such prepared. The video description is as follows. Sorry.
Yeah, this video was made when we were very young.
That reminds me of that one jingle.
I was debating whether or not to like keep that going until I ran out of breath, but I realized I had like very good breath control with like 2 minutes.
Oh, Bonsis, hurry! Bonsis, hurry! Bonsis, hurry!
That reminds me of that one jingle. Shoot, what is it? It's like a commercial. It's Red Robins, yum.
Ah, yeah. Okay, let's go. For Bun's sake.
I'd love to say I see the connection, but I would be a liar. So without further ado, on with the review.
It's because the way you said it somewhat matched like the not dialect, that's the wrong term. The sort of the sound of it.
I was born in a place called Jorvik Stables.
Oh, it's not voice acted, okay.
Yeah,
this was made years ago!
That's not okay, because it'll be voice acted years ago. It depends. It could be one or the other.
No. Lost Stars and Fables are very, very popular without voice acting. It was considered cringe. It was considered cringe if you tried to do voice acting.
So what you're saying is that voice acting in this industry is in this field is very rare, and something that would make a project stand out were it to take place in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Jacob is about to write a whole series to spite that notion. It's like Mutant Girl all over again. You guys tell me that I can't do this thing? Well, okay, fine. How about this then? Boy, do I have
I was already planning to have the Mutant Girl be voice acted when Jay tried to talk me out of it, saying it wasn't a thing people did. It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, like, boy, you tell me I can't do this thing. Do I have a 3-season project to give you?
This is the same thing that Aiden says to me. It's like, you know, I write down scenes and scripts and stuff, usually stage directions. Then Aiden's like, Jacob, how are we gonna do this? It's like,
we'll find out.
I know how to do it. I'm gonna.
That's the way I wing it. I'm like, I just make things, and then I'm like, most of the time I
already have an answer or know where to find the answers. But yeah, okay, enjoy the stream. I'll probably rejoin in a week or so. All right then.
Yeah, I make up
time
answers.
To read the let's read a proper description that KW sent me before, with the ages censored.
Oh, no!
So I'm putting this here just in case if I can't make it on time. The video was made when my friend was around years old. This was around the time me and her were trying to figure out what to do for content when we were younger. We had the flu and she found this game we were sick. We decided to create accounts and play together. We even create YouTube videos together. She doesn't do YouTube anymore because life happened. We are still together and hang out. So most of the stuff that actually YouTube said already, KW said already, just called you YouTube. Jeez. YouTube wasn't her priority, but was still fun to create videos at that time. So yes, it may be silly or weird, but we were young. We decided to make fun stories, implying that older KW does not make weird and fun stories. I hope you enjoy.
I was a dark child. I was very, very dark.
Wait, so you're saying this is a darker story than your
No, not
current
this
ones?
one. No. Workhorse is a lighthearted story, but
okay,
a series that she and I decided to create together was very dark.
Yeah, I was about to say, is seeing the name and then you saying I was a very dark child, I was like, hold on a second, is this gonna be an allegory for something? Hold on a second, because I can think of a few things in the world that could relate to that title.
Well, I keep auto-completing the title to Warhorse in my head, like the Michael Moore Pogo story.
See, yeah. I'm thinking it's like a story about like capitalism and wages and in labor, and it's like, I'm sure that's what little like single-digit KW was thinking about.
No.
Also, I like the idea of
Alexandra Pandonite in this case as well.
No.
I also like the phrasing of we are trying to figure out what we're gonna do for content. I like the idea of a 6-year-old KW and their friend going, you know, how are we gonna get the content grind going? I just can't.
Well, maybe that's how every YouTuber starts. They always try to experiment with different things and see what works and what they enjoy.
Yeah, but
making.
the wording is like a veteran YouTuber. Like, well, see, what am I supposed to do for this month?
We wanted to do
What game am I supposed to play to keep on the algorithm?
Oh, right, we gotta get our profit margins up.
Meanwhile, you hear the mom in the background, "Girls, come eat." And then the kids, all right, meeting over. Meet back at the same time next week.
Yeah, no, like, it's like a whole like tea party set, but it's like set up as like a board of directors, all the stuffed animals apart from the two of them.
Okay, check out. You know how like what happened in season finale of Come On, one of the main characters went, and you read Mesmer's.
Yes, very dark story, yes.
And then Misfits, right? You would never have an at the end of the book, right? The series that she and I did together will be the 3rd time in a row I did something like that.
Well, I mean, I don't know about in a row. It was like years ago, so you
but
things.
It would have been a pattern.
Admittedly, I mean, even ponies, while the thing in question is different because it doesn't happen to the lead in this case. There's still a present theme towards the end of that. So I'm sensing a pattern with a lot of your stories. So I guess that from what you were saying in here, this will be something I didn't expect because I didn't expect it to end the same way.
Also, just ignore that I have Charlie from Hazbin Hotel on as a profile picture. That was a joke between me and my friends.
You chose to. Well, I mean, Prism of Voices actually has another character who I won't say because BB hasn't met them yet. I just happen to know the name because I got that spoiler from somewhere else. But yeah,
I think KW is just covering because of the reputation that Hazbin Hotel has had for a couple of years in the background. Because remember, you gotta keep in mind, Vivzi's not a very popular person. I don't know the full story as to why. The most detail I have comes down to an article that recently came out, which seems like the background of the production is not great.
I mean, if I complained about that while continuing to reference Harry Potter every so often, I feel like that would not, I would leave myself in a very hypocritical light, so I'm not gonna, I wouldn't judge about that.
No, yeah, there was a joke between going on me and my few friends on Discord, and I said, should I just change my profile picture? And they're like, yes, I dare you. And I'm like, fine, send me your best picture of Charlie, and that's what happened.
You just post a picture of a piece of paper with a cross, with like a pencil cross on it. Here's the best picture I have of Charlie.
Well, it's better than honestly. If you ask for people for a picture of Charlie, considering what also came out very earlier, before the series.
I forgot about that one. Yeah,
there's some pictures of Charlie people could actually take that would have been. Depending on the sense of humor of the person, a little bit less favorable for you.
Might get you banned on Discord, but you know, it'll be funny, all right.
Yeah, for the person involved to get you banned off Discord. Anyways, I was born in a place called Jorvik Stables.
Yeah, this incidentally, is go on.
Jorvik was the original name for the city of York. That I think the Vikings gave it.
Yeah, I was about to say the way that J works. Where is this set? Is this in a Nordic
This
country?
game was created by Swedish game players.
That makes sense. Okay.
So it's everything.
So Jorvik that wasn't a choice that was for this story. It was actually called that in game, and then
because it's a Swedish game, so they have a lot of names that is in like Sweden or stuff like that.
I see.
I mean, I think even some like the lore itself too. Like there are some Nordic lore, but I don't really pay attention much of the main story quests. I mainly just make content out of it.
Which is fair. Okay, so Jorvik Stables. Oh, this is a different text color. Is it still the same character talking?
Yes. We were learning about how texts work back then. So
okay.
Fair enough.
My mum told me when I was a Shire, Baggins, and when I was old enough, I would become a workhorse like her.
Is it unfair to talk about grammar when you have someone that young?
Yeah, well, actually.
Because I can point out this capital W here. But is that
and also
unfair?
The fact that when I was a Shire and when is also not how you would say that. I mean, I guess it's kind of
we were so
those disclaimers. You know those disclaimers on like old cartoons and such that talk about like the implications and why certain content is presentable in certain ways. Yeah, this is kind of like that. This is clearly does not represent the skills and quality from the original person, but has been preserved in the form that it has been, is being reviewed as such. Because trying to do otherwise.
Like black and white shorts, like black and white Disney shorts. They always have to put a disclaimer at the beginning. Hey, by the way, some of these things haven't aged very well.
Yeah, if I watch Dumbo again on Disney Plus, I will. I can probably see that announcement. Years went by my mum, left me to go to Moorland Stable for retirement.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, she's been studying a lot about horses when making this video.
Well, it's because Moorland, it's I mean, whenever we're talking like a Nordic place, I can picture a place called Moorland.
I can picture a place called Jorvik. I've been to it, in fact. Not that it's called that anymore. That's right. I haven't been to New York, but I've been to Old York. A girl named Alex would come ride me half an hour a day since I was 3 years old, which is actually a considerable age for a horse, but we won't get into that.
This horse will not last 2 seasons.
I don't know what the average lifespan of a horse is, but I do think they're like mature by that point. Oh yeah, also this video is not going to get monetized. Most of this music is from Once Upon a Time, I've heard.
Jesus, no, that horse, it might actually still be a baby. I looked it up out of curiosity. The average is 25 to 30. Some domestic ones can make it to their 50s or 60s.
Okay, but how long until they reach maturity is the question.
No,
I don't think it's 3, but
we use a lot of game music and Harry Potter music.
Oh, well, still copyrighted, but I appreciate the variety that we're going to experience.
So yeah, this one is Harry Potter.
Okay, yeah. They're considered fully grown by 5.
Okay, so about teenager then.
Oh, I forgot about Cadence! Oh, she was such a good friend. She was so hilarious.
I see. Oh, so a lot of these characters are just like the people's like in-game avatars rather than like playing different characters.
Yeah, I mean? we decided to like just use our actual game names to make it better, because if we choose like different names or whatever, when you can see the game avatar name, it would be confusing. That's what we felt like, so we were like, we're just gonna. It kept our
I can kind of get that. I sort of like got past that with like old Minecraft roleplays, because a lot of the time you would just see the actual person's name. But yeah, I understand. Silver was 4 years old, almost 5 years old. Once she turned 5, she'd become a workhorse. Oh, adulthood. I guess that's the connection there. Wait, is this like slowed down now? I can hear like the.
Oh wow, hold on a second. I was joking about like this being an allegory, but I'm reading the next text in comparison with the last one. Maybe maybe this is talking about labor.
I wouldn't call this an allegory. I would call this, just a blatant theme of the story. Like, this is not like alluding to anything. This is what they're talking about.
Yeah, but whenever you can because like I doubt this would go through like a kid's mind, so I'm sure I'm reading too much into it. I'm almost guaranteed. However, if like I were to watch like a movie or something, I feel like this would be like an allegory to like human circumstances, not just like, oh, here's a horse doing stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I feel like a kid would pick up on the idea of a horse being like overworked or something. I mean, for crying out loud, I was younger than this when I watched Thomas the Tank Engine and picked up on the terrible labor conditions of Sodor. I just didn't equate them to human beings yet.
Oh, that was with me with Black Beauty.
Which I think is also a horse product, right?
Yeah, it was about a black stallion going through his life, being like a workhorse and stuff like that.
Well, what a coincidence. That's what happens that's the
exact I don't know if she was inspired by that movie or not, but I just remember we would like watch a bunch of like horse movies, so maybe that
most likely included that one.
Yeah.
You just watched a bunch of horse movies, huh? What an interesting interest to have as a kid.
Because she was into horses, so we would like watch like Spirit, Black Beauty.
I've never heard of that as like an interest for kids. Like I remember back whenever I was little, we just binged a bunch of horse movies.
Because we were sick with the flu.
How often were you sick with the flu?
Quite a while.
So it was like the one time of being sick, but it was a prolonged period, is what KW is saying.
And a long history of horse movies during that period.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if you go through all that, then yeah, it's gonna stick with you, honestly.
Is it? I feel like I can't remember a lot of my fever anything, actually.
Well, okay, I don't remember a lot of the actual episodic content of the Bob the Builder VHS I used to watch every single day. I remember being very into Bob the Builder. There is the connection there. Anyway, she was scared. I forgot what voice I did for a second. I told her not to worry. They wouldn't let her be in harm.
Why are they running around?
Because the girl named Sarah would come in to, take the horse round for a ride half an hour. That was established earlier. They met up with the other horses and they're forgotten already. And so they're going to go for the stroll that they set up just now. Anyways, 1 week later. I told her don't worry. Then she calmed down. That was a thumbnail, by the way, which was extremely hard to crop. Like, most of that image was like very extended and just like squished down by YouTube itself. So to make the thumbnail for today, I had to like the best part. Anyway, Cadence decided to go with Silver to make her feel better. Silver loved this. Also, when you become a workhorse, you get like transferred, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is a command economy.
I was going to say something, but I can't confirm that. Anyway,
I can't either.
I am still with Alex for 2 years and 1 month. I thought the character's name was Sarah, but never mind.
Later in the story, I was with Steve for 5 years and 6 months.
Silver and Cadence left us. I can still hear the slow motion clippity-cloppity as the title card superimposed on the screen did not interrupting the action, but actually being a layer on top, presumably. Anyway, Steve taught me to trot walk, or sometimes medium canter, when pulling a wagon, and never jump that made me happy I hated jumping. Remember, unnamed horse. Never jump that made you happy you hated jumping. That's my wise words for you. Okay, never mind. This is the thumbnail, which I guess was just like whatever screen capture YouTube got. It wasn't actually chosen as the thumbnail. Today is my first practice of being a workhorse. That's right, we get dress rehearsals. They loved it, my graceful trot, everything.
It's
Do
a decent
workhorses
shot,
usually
actually.
get judged by graceful trots? But yes, this is a good shot. I presume this was like shot in like a full landscape shot with the player on side, but this was just zoomed in, probably to crop out the player riding.
So back then, you couldn't like turn yourself invisible or anything like that to make your horse look like it's not getting right on a person or whatever. And so, what she
so you can now.
Yeah, we can now. We can now. They decided to add it because we've been demanding it. Nice. So what she would do, so she would record the full game or whatever of her riding this horse. And then when she goes to edit it, she would zoom in on the horse with the feet and everything on the editor. So that way it looks like, the horse is not getting right on or whatever. It was a simple trick without like trying to glitch the game or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that might have been what was going on. Oh. But I still loved riding with Alex.
I forgot I found this remix of The Lost Woods.
Man, what an unfortunate track. I hate this.
It was like, oh wow, I'm so glad that I found this thing. BB's like, I immediately despise it.
This feels uncomfortable to listen to. If I were watching this video on my own time, this would be how I click off.
I think it's because it sounds like it's been layered twice. Like it's been there's like two layers and then one that's like been slightly shifted, so everything repeats. Like first we go like boom, 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 suddenly you're like and that's why.
And it doesn't help that it also sounds like weirdly close to my ear.
Yeah, actually I don't know about that. Dialogue.
And it just keeps pausing too. It just stops.
I think this is a game video editor because it shouldn't be something like that. I don't know.
Oh, so you set the music and put it like in. Oh, I guess Alexander must have done set the music and put it in the game rather than.
No, I'm talking about like the video itself.
Oh, okay.
Because I watched the video last night, just tried to refresh my memory, and it sounded like normally, like there was like no glitches or whatever. So I don't know what's going on.
Rams into the...
remember that this horse hates jumping, so you're never gonna get a jump.
Ran into the fence.
Yeah.
Camera angles in this game was very tricky. So if you got it perfectly, you were considered the master of this game.
Yeah. But is anything forever? Ah, there we go. Another subtle theme: the fleeting nature of mortality.
You see, it even has red in the background for the added subtlety.
2 years and 1 month later.
Okay, yeah, there is the What's One thing. Okay, I forgot.
I am becoming a workhorse now. Sadly, Patricia won't be with me. They hitched me up. Okay, I'm getting very confused. Is this the same shot again? There's so many of these, like, this specific image appears so many times, including as the thumbnail. Was Alexandra just, like, really proud of this particular one?
I think she was trying to make sure that
they were low on budget.
No, I think
save the animation, yeah.
Because I think it was for a fact of like she didn't want to like keep trying to make the same thing over and over again in the game, so she rather just use the same like clip she had and everything just to say, "Yep, they've been hit shopped" and everything like that.
Okay.
Without having to.
It's not even a clip; it's a still image.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And we set off again in slow motion towards the winery. Yeah, this shot was like saved in the corner. This edit, yeah.
I will also say the fact, so us being in this game and doing this means that it like you still get like the motion of it, which kind of makes it feel a lot more lifelike.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it's just because you're in the game and it's zoomed in, but it really helps with the like immersion.
Yeah, I guess the drawback of having to zoom in, at least at this point, and at this point, is because the resolution of the game makes it so it is actually comes across a blurry and more pixelated. But again, that's something you can't really avoid. And I saw Raoul say goodbye. Oh, nice edit of the tears as well.
As it just stops, and nice edit of the tears, by the way, it pauses in midair.
This happens all the time. I give compliments to videos and then I have to take them back a second after I press play. Anyway, at the winery. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not.
I think it was because it was. No, I don't think that was a game. No. Was that a game emote? I do not know. I can't remember. I don't think that was it. I have to ask.
That doesn't look like it would fit in the game. Like it looks.
No.
Off.
I have to ask her about that.
Maybe it was a mod, like the Minecraft like crying mod that just has like a pool of tears that Afnal used all the time.
Oh my god.
What device was this game on?
It's on PC.
Okay, yeah, I guess it could be modded then. Sure.
It's now you can play on mobile now. I do not recommend it. It's really hard to play on mobile. I don't know what.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like playing Minecraft on mobile. What heathen would do that? Anyway, after the long trip, I got to rest before we moved some more. I paced, thinking about Ines and my life before. I ran out of names. I wasn't expecting it to appear again. I think it's better to see the face, at least, rather than just, like, the legs all the time. After half an hour, they took me back to the wagon.
Well,
I wonder what that's gonna look like.
I will say, if you're smart about it, and, like, if it were, like, well-written and all that, you could make an argument that seeing the legs so much is actually an artistic choice to represent the constant motion and movement of being at work 24/7 and how there's never any breaks.
So
that's
you mean, like,
probably not the intent,
march.
but
it's the long march.
Yeah.
I really hope that KW shows this video to Alexandra Panda Knight just to see what that's gonna be like.
Like I did tell her mom, and her mom was like, "Well, they make sure to be nice because she was a little girl when this was made." I'm like, "I'll be in the live stream, I promise."
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna mean anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're treating this, I think, like every other video that's obviously been made by a child that we've reviewed in the past.
Right.
Which, for better or worse, I suppose.
Sudden lighting change.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. Like, I've been trying to ask them how they did that, and they just never tell me.
I imagine you can probably like change the opacity on whatever probably very basic basic editor that was most likely used at this point.
It was Wonder Share that they used.
Then yeah.
I was using Movie Maker at the time.
Yeah, I've looked at the year this came out, and I too was using Movie Maker at this point. Got Vegas the same year, but like it was still. The lighting change may just be the change of like whatever scene was going on, because that was a montage. Anyway, we finally made it to Fir Grove, where I guess we were going the whole time. Never really specified that. I was lucky enough to get a stall.
Is there a plot
being
to this?
ridden by someone you can't see.
I think.
Yeah, this is still the setup of, you know, we have like the happy life that came before. You know, we introduced the conflict. You know, we've crossed the threshold now. So I guess we're about to meet the mentor in a way.
But I guess I don't know. I just keep seeing like the text show up and go, and then I went here, just endlessly, and it's like, oh, what's
yeah? I guess. And it is like dangerously close to chess piece storytelling. What makes it different why is it not just, you know, character goes here and stuff happens, is the fact that you can clearly see, like, emotionally there's a journey that's going on at the same time as all this stuff is happening. I mean, it's a typical animal movie setup, not just a horse movie, but animal movies where, you know, they have an owner that really cares for them or something.
There is a
they're
plot.
separated and they have to fend for themselves in some way. And in a lot of those stories, they end up having some sort of reunion. So the happy ending of this could well be that you know, Ophelia and unnamed horse get reacquainted. I saw someone I thought I would never see again. It's Silver, isn't it?
This is a kind of disturbing shot, actually. I feel like I'm a little bit too close to the eye.
Okay, I was right the first time. Welcome back, Ogilvy. She came up to me and did someone known ever to be. By the way, this is the same day, right? This is the same day as just left. Like we had like half an hour, then we had of rest after reaching this one spot, then another journey up to here.
How much time has passed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
she did not record this within the day. She recorded in a span of days.
No, but like, how long does it take place narratively?
Yeah, exactly. Because narratively, it seems like this is all one day where this is all happening.
A few days.
I thought I would never see her again 2 days later. Alex!
Well, I mean, even still, I mean, even if it were like one day, that would still be like I thought I would never see her again. Oh, there she is. Also, how'd she get there that quickly? If it took a horse presumably several days to get to this point, how on earth did she get there on foot?
I think what I was trying to say with this,
she got a new horse.
That the horse has been traveling to other places in a few days. So
okay, so Alex went straight there. Okay.
So I think Alex came to Fir Grove and everything like that, and I am assuming that they didn't expect that the horse would come to Fir Grove when traveling around.
So it's like Odysseus' journey, except we cut out all the important bits.
I guess so. We haven't learned Greek mythology back then, but
no. You see, this all it is connected to the Odyssey because we've got horses. You know, Poseidon.
Yeah. That's why there's so many. It's not that this is all just an elaborate scheme to stalk to stalk Alex, who's really like a descendant of Odysseus somehow.
Oh my god, imagine.
Can we like adapt the Odyssey into Star Stable Online? Can that be the project that we do? The voice acting project of just and we'll just like name the horse Homer or something.
I will say, just because again, whenever I think of the Greek gods and narrative stuff, I always try to like mix it in with like eldritch horror a little bit here and there. And so now I can just picture in the Star Stable Online roleplay, you're like, it's time to meet the king of the horses. And then it's just an eldritch monstrosity towering over everyone.
Oh, don't remind me.
Here's Poseidon.
Poseidon. Poseidon.
No, okay. No. Speaking of that.
You see the horses chanting that in the background.
What? No. The server that me, Alexandra, and Eric are in is famous for Warrior Cats roleplay. Everywhere you go, literally.
Yeah, Warrior Cats is a very popular young adult novel series. Expanded universe.
I mean that's fine. I'm just wondering how you would be able to do that within like
you use your horse as a cat. You use your horse as a cat.
You play pretend is what happens. He broke Jacob. The slow slouch, just not a word, holding his head
like,
in shame.
I was expecting like I haven't seen anything to do with Warrior Cats. It's the first I've heard of this thing. I thought maybe like the Warrior Cats would have been like Thundercats, like they were bipedal or something, and so the human characters would have been the cats. But no, the horses are the gigantic cats apparently.
Yeah.
So I have not read the franchise. I actually really want to one day. It's again one of those things on the bucket list. But from what I'm aware, it's just regular cats. Except in this version, it's like the POV that you never get. So it's just a bunch of stray cats, and they're all in like clans.
Yes, you're correct.
And that's kind of just the big setup.
Yeah, actually, literally, like whatever place you go, it is claimed by a club where that is considered a Warrior Cats clan.
Okay.
And like they will say, "This is our territory. Join in if you want to be part of the Warrior Cats clan or whatever, and fight for your lives."
I have heard that there's also a really graphic birth scene as well. That's just a weird trivia bit that I know about.
I was about to say I hope that that's not been recreated in Star Stable Online. However, if my knowledge of gacha tropes is extensive enough, I feel like people would have done that scene at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I hear there is just a graphic, like, realistic cat birth scene in there for, like, a young adult, like, novel series.
Literally, because my mom actually read some of the book, she literally said that basically Warrior Cats is Game of Thrones without the adult content.
Okay.
Well, I mean, again, you have the birth. I would argue that a graphic birth scene counts as adult content.
Well, I meant like other stuff besides the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's way violent.
Without most of the adult content.
Violence is what you mean by adult content for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's in the teens section.
So what Kirby's saying is that it includes violence, mostly because it's called Warrior Cats. I feel like you kind of expect that with the territory. But it doesn't include content that is deemed to be more adult themed than violence would be on its own.
Yeah, like it has like graphic violence stuff like that. But I meant like other adult content.
Yes, so Game of Thrones, no adult content. So Lord of the Rings, got it.
Yeah, basically.
What is this shot? I can't tell what we're looking at right now. Is this like the stomach?
Is it a tail? I think it's the tail.
A bit,
it's the stomach. It's...
Pet me, Steam, or pet me.
There's like that one scene. There's like the scene of E.T. with the fingers.
Leave home.
But then she left me again. Right as the whimsical soundtrack kicked in. Oh, and it goes to minor key, so it gets more ominous. The next day.
Wow, that's Whiplash, baby.
We then set off to a place called Fort Pinta, right next to Fort Nina and Fort Santa Maria. Shout out to anyone who got that joke. They took me out and hitched me up again. They also played the same musical score from the beginning of the movie.
We had very limited music.
You said you found a bunch of different sources.
from video games, Harry Potter, and one song from Once Upon a Time. We only have one song from Harry Potter, one song from Once Upon a Time, one song from Legend of Zelda, and then like maybe 2 or 3 more other music choices.
Oh, okay. Because I saw a comment somewhere. I think it was the original video, because I did look up the original. My plan was to actually put the original version up and then show the fixed one afterwards, kind of like what you did with the Mutant Go reactions. Then I realized they were just exactly the same one, which is like a remastered version that came out only like 8 or so days later, I think. Less than that, maybe.
Because there were like audio and text errors, I think.
Yeah, so there wasn't. So yeah, so there wasn't really much point. I just stuck with this one. But yeah, I also forgot I was gonna that this video only has 2 comments, and both of them are of note. So I'm gonna save those.
Really? Oh no! Wait, what? I think what is that one of my comments mine? Is that one of my comments mine?
Yeah.
Oh no! What did I say?
Well, since we're on the subject, I'm glad you asked. So let's bring that up. Nope, that's the wrong section. Okay, here we go. So starting from the bottom, we have a really good, but don't to fix it that much. It's already way too good. So someone was definitely, well, I mean, many more people invested in the story because again, it blew up. But
it literally blew up. Everyone subscribed to her because of that movie.
Yeah, this is the Taming the Bad Boy of this channel. But yeah, so again, someone was definitely super invested in this story and at least checked out the fixed version. Unlike most people, because for some reason that just did not translate over. If people were watching the episode multiple times again and again, if it's that good, I would consider it would be good to check out the fixed one personally, but I guess some people didn't look it up that way. Anyway, so KW replied, I think the reason why is because she wanted to and didn't know how to re-upload. Well, except that she did know how to re-upload, because otherwise you wouldn't have got this video that you commented on, but you know.
I don't know what I was trying to say. I think it's because she didn't know how to re-upload, like delete the original video or re-upload the same video but fixed. Because she
thank goodness you didn't do that. That would have been awful, because this video only got it's got like a fraction. Oh my goodness, yeah, that would like halter the entire. Oh, that would have been awful if that happened.
I know. I also am actually glad she just uploaded it again without having to delete the others.
Yeah, but if people I say this a lot, but my number one rule that I say to anyone doing YouTube channel is never delete your most popular video. That is probably one of the worst decisions that you can make as a YouTuber. Unless it's like majorly problematic, but most people that I talk to, their videos like aren't that, so not really relevant to them.
Bruh, I wish I brought back Selena and the Keeper, like all the same, but they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I mean, I probably would have still enlisted it or something, just because it didn't fit the vision for my channel at all. But like, you know, I did do that with my channel just because I completely rebranded to like its more permanent state, which is specifically for the Butterverse. All my more casual stuff is on the Butter Bunch.
But I don't think I was. If I
we didn't re-upload the casual stuff on the Butter Bunch.
No, I didn't, because the Butter Bunch we didn't know was going to be a thing at the time.
But
so all your stuff is still unlisted, but just
I don't know if it's unlisted or deleted. I haven't gone back to check.
Well, if it is unlisted, you tell you what, you should check that. And if some of the stuff, you know, like the Undertale playthrough, that fits a lot with the Butter Bunch, so you should put that on.
I could.
I know for a fact that maybe I'm probably won't able to bring back singing in the keyboard just because I had a lot of copyrighted music on there, like maybe a little bit too much. It isn't just like video games.
That's the advantage of re-uploading.
Yeah,
you can change the music, especially if it's not voice acted. That's very easy to do.
Yeah, or if you have the money to pay for the rights.
I guess you wouldn't have the sound effects if you did that, because the sound effects are mostly in game, if I'm not mistaken.
So either in game, or we found I think what she's doing here, she found a video clip where you hear the horses gallop or whatever, and so she would use it to slow or reverb or whatever to make the other noises if a horse would be walking or trotting or whatever instead of just galloping. So we would use stuff like that.
I've heard the slowed down version. Reminds me of Leafy is Here videos, which was around this time on YouTube. Yeah, like that, for example.
Yeah, because I think we couldn't find other horse noises at that time. It was hard.
Well, I tell you what, that's better than what Aiden did for Fallen Angels at one point. Because at one point, I think he had one sound effect that he took from me. Because for a brief period, I was doing all the scoring and sound effects for Fallen Angels, starting from the remake of episode 1, going up to a couple episodes in, and then Aiden took over again. But I gave him a folder with different sounds. Maybe before that, he asked me for one wing sound effect. And I thought, oh, okay, fine. This is for one wing sound effect that he will need and he will use accordingly. It was for a very slow flapping motion. They're just gliding down, descending, and all you heard was.
Oh, was it the Cherub Story or something like that?
It might have been Cherub's Tale. It might have been Cherub's Tale.
It has to be Cherub's Tale because I remember you were talking about that in that live stream. I think it was.
That's very possible. Cherub's Tale was made in a huge rush by Aiden. I did not have any involvement in the editing of that. Yeah, I'm looking at the feet, and that definitely is a lighting effect, not just a change of landscape, because there's no clipping. And I don't want to assume that a single-digit-year-old was going through frame by frame to align the animation.
No.
I think he even can do that in Wondershare. I'm not sure, but maybe I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, whoa! What was that?
A random person.
I think, yeah, that is one drawback of filming this in filming anything inside of an MMO is the fact that people will just get in front of your shot. Was there ever a time when someone got in the middle of your shot and you had to retake a scene?
Actually, yes. Yes. In a Sleeping in the Keeper episode. Okay, so there was one part where Alexander Pendant has to jump over this rock or whatever and pretend to bump into me or whatever because I think the character was in a rush or whatever, because I was supposed to chase her or whatever. There was a funny chasing that we decided to do or whatever. That was one of our ideas. And someone, as she jumped and goes to bump into me, there was someone just ran past between us, and we just stop and stare at the person, trying to figure out what was happening to them because they were lagging so bad.
Yeah. I've actually. Well, one of the projects that I was semi-involved with was a Leon Tarkshina series called The Duramist that I've vaguely mentioned in the past, which for a brief time was...
I remember this.
Yeah, brief time was unlisted or privatized, and then I think got republished fairly recently, but it was a 2014 project in Roblox, non-voice acted. None of the stuff that I was involved in actually made it to the air, but I had a bunch of ideas. I was going through different ideas, and I was kind of the Aiden of that series in the sense of trying to, experiment with different things, trying at first doing what early Aiden did and questioning why he wasn't done in Minecraft, for example. But I also was pushing the idea of actually voice acting it because I felt like Roblox the way that it was being done, it wasn't edited in the sense of like having captions or something. It was done with like Roblox have to type in the lines, and so it completely destroyed any pacing that the show would have had. And it was meant to be a horror series as well at one point. So,
oh god,
yeah, not the best of ideas.
Literally,
So,
I'm having flashbacks to my journey.
Well,
because I also had the same thing of a lot of my stuff was by default Minecraft. And then as you especially know at this point, that is not the case for like almost any of them at this point. And even if it is Minecraft, a lot of my stuff at this point is still so experimental that some of the moments in it also aren't Minecraft, even if it is by the majority of Minecraft project.
Well, I mean, Aiden and I also used Minecraft by default back in the day before we discovered Gacha. Before I converted Aiden to Gacha in the first place.
Yeah,
so.
for me, as I've said on a stream, I just kind of make a story and then I decide the medium later because it's so much easier than deciding a medium and then working with those limitations for me.
Yeah, well, yeah. For me, it's actually the opposite. I decide the medium first usually, or if I can't stop my brain in time, then I'll have like a story outline that I might do. But then I just
that brain's just going. It's a race.
Like, stop inventing character arcs. We need to decide what we're gonna do for this.
I'm not gonna remember any of this, brain. Please quit.
Oh,
I mean, the thing is, I do remember them, and that's what becomes the idea for the story. That's why it exists like a nebula for ages, because it has nothing to adapt it to.
That just reminded me. Do I have the old written ideas for Selena and the Keeper?
That's one of the big curses with my projects, which is I have a lot of stuff that I want to do, and I have a lot of great ideas for them. However, because of how far out they are, I'm always afraid of if I forgot like a key idea that I was really passionate about like a while back whenever I just spitballed something, and it'll just never see the light of day.
Yeah, that's fair. The reason I brought up the Durhamest was like I was gonna tie back to what KW said earlier. It's because there is one extended scene. It was essentially this was like how an origin of how a character was going through their normal day until they got a message from somebody to go up to this area called like the Mountain of Truth, which was just essentially like a huge like a contact thing and a lore dump, as it turned out, of a different flashback. But for the one time, you had like a normal everyday life scene, which was essentially this character trying to drive around in the Roblox cars in 2014 with 2014 Roblox controls.
God, kill me.
In a public
I remember
room,
that era.
Which in a public room with other people driving 2014 Roblox controlled cars. And trying to interact with the people. So the scene went on for way too long. There was a bunch of reversing and such. I can now vouch that I'm better in a real car than Leon Tokshina was in the Roblox car in 2014.
Yeah, no, it's not good. That's one of I don't play Roblox very much anymore. The only time I do play it is whenever I'm invited by like Cherry or Shori. I will play whenever the FNAF game comes out on Roblox, but like generally I don't play it casually anymore. I did play it casually then, and I did not like those physics. I always avoided cars like the plague. They didn't work on mobile. Not a single one of those games were mobile friendly with cars.
Yeah, I want to go back to Roblox only because I found out that Gacha Online had an update where you can now create like the inside of a house, which essentially, to translate that into our terms, you can create multiple perspectives of a set that will work from different angles in a Gacha video. Is what that means. So I have plans. That's the only reason I'm going to ever return to Roblox, I think. But that aside, so it was like, people would interrupt that scene for the Durhamest, and he would try to interact with them, which of course, again, without voice acting and typing out all the responses, which meant that the pacing was destroyed yet again, which made the video longer, which meant more people interacted with them. So yeah, the first half of that episode is basically fluff. The rest of it is actually very important lore and exposition that never got paid off because it was the final episode that was ever got released. But
Yeah, I remember watching the Darmist with you whenever you showed us that one time. And then remember I went down that rabbit hole of all the Twitter accounts and stuff, and we found out there's just like a bunch of different like promises of, hey, we're doing this special and this special and this special, and you can't find a single one of them because it's all canceled.
Yeah, Leon Touch.
But it was all announced too early.
Leon Touch would come up with like a bunch of ideas and then would like and they would decide against them. At one point, he wanted to get like celebrity voice actors as well. Because once I started saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna get voice actors, like, hey, I want to try and like get Jazz Jennings to take part in this. TV sensation, best-selling author Jazz Jennings to be in the Roblox series, which might have which is essentially the equivalent of Icarus directing a project, honestly.
Right. And I was just looking through my old journal, and I found that I did like drawings for like character outfits. And then I found an old script of the remake of Selena the Keeper. Oh, maybe I should reveal that. But there's nothing really much in it though. It's like only like maybe 3 scenes total.
Well, if you want to be one of the first people to make a Star Stable Online voice acted series that's taken seriously, then let us know and we can make those scenes come to life.
Yeah, and I also found like my scrapbook, and like there's like a bunch of old stuff in here. Like, what was I doing when I was a little kid? Jeez.
Hey man, I've been there, baby.
I've kept most of my old notebooks, always the ones that I can find. So yeah. We arrived early at sundown. We head off in present tense, but this time something scary happened in past tense.
I forgot. This is when we first got introduced to Skyrim. And we were so into Skyrim music.
I'm surprised you didn't make this in Skyrim then, if that were the case.
I would say, I think Skyrim has significantly less limitations than this does.
Well, that's what we should do, Skyrim review.
We were not allowed to play at that time.
I was going to say, yeah, you probably
we were only allowed to watch at certain times.
That's fair, yeah. That makes sense. This time we were in a field. It's like the ultimate face-off. So, we meet again, Silver. How's the ways of the Workhorse been treating you? Not too bad, unnamed horse protagonist. Why are we facing off again? I don't know, but it is time to duel. I mean, to horse joust. I don't know what we do here.
Oh yeah, that's true. They've been so vague about what exactly the work is. Imagine the plot twist is really that this is just for, like, they're being prepared as jousting horses.
Oh my.
And then they have to, like, go kill their owners. Or old owners.
Baby, but you should have met me years ago when I was playing this game. I could have written that story ASAP.
Plot twist that, yeah, of course, you know, Alex's destiny was something else, and therefore she would end up riding the other horse that was going up against unnamed horse protagonist.
Oh my god! Alex is the keeper from my old series. Oh no!
Well, there we go. It's all connected. It's all a cinematic universe.
The KW verse, baby.
Yeah.
The KWCU. He unhitched the wagon and did something I thought he would never do. Pet me. He slapped me with part of the... his hand transformed into a Microsoft Paint edit, and he slapped me with part of the harness, and he said, "Run!" I didn't. All in all, not a bad first day. No, I don't know what to tell you.
Right, I was like, is that a hand, a sword, or a whip?
It's part of the harness. You know, oh wow. You know something? Actually, this is like a kind of a tense scene, mostly because you can't see what's going on. So you kind of have to imagine like the panic that someone would be going through, because like, yeah, this horse probably doesn't understand what's going on either. So yeah, like we're confused too.
Horror directors would tell you that's a genius idea.
Yeah. Alex was here. I mean there, because I'm not there anymore, so it's a different place. She said we were in something called a war zone, so it is Warhorse. And she said to run. Did I forget to mention there was a war? Because there was a war.
Oh, you know what would have been so cool?
Imagine if like Joey from Warhorse did that. It's just like never explained where everyone was going, and then suddenly was like, oh yeah, there's a war.
So because you're in the perspective of a horse who might not know what a war is, I like the idea. I like the idea of like keep it that vague, but have the sound effects as well. Like you can hear like the stomping of like an army, and it's like it's like a giant rushing after, except it's not.
We did hear one set of explosions. I mean, I guess you could have like some gunfire or something going on too. But I presume that was not found.
Well played. You were saying.
I can see them in the background. Oh,
I don't know if that counts as an army.
It counts as part of an army.
That was in a game for some main story question. She never did.
Yeah, which I thought you were going to say was one of the warrior cat the platoons, I guess. It hurt like nothing I'd ever felt before. There's a lot of like
it looks like the horse is just peeing blood.
Yeah, if you look at it from like that direction, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it should be more like a splatter. You would think, like a bit of a smudge.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Alex could not care less.
Yeah, the horse has its own ammunition.
Gotta love cheap game sprites just never emoting when anything happens.
Literally,
and look at Ron's face here.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It hurt. Yeah. So also there's that. I noticed like a pattern with this writing. You know, there's like she did something I never thought she would do again, or so it did something I never did before, and nothing I ever felt before. There's a lot of.
We haven't practiced grammar yet. Just say.
That's not.
Yeah, it's
grammar.
kind of like this is a very powerful line that I like in this thing. I'm going to use it in everything now.
Well, I mean, that's a good idea. Like, there is a time and place to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but exactly what we want to tell me not spam neutral. Want to tell me to spam neutral, rather. I didn't know where I was. I woke up fully on my legs, but I didn't know where I was. Forgotten. But Alex was here. But Alex was here with her. Everything is all right. I am so grateful she brought her. Everything is all right. I always rely on it.
I like how she's had the bike helmet on this whole time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's a war zone out there. You're gonna, protect your head.
Yeah, a hard hat is gonna save you from the war.
Hands up! Joke's on you.
Yeah, that'll keep you intact, I'm sure.
Soon I was healed.
You should have been wearing a hard hat. You would have never gotten that injured in the first place, man.
Yeah. Alex said I had to go back. She didn't want to leave me again. I could tell in her eyes. Meanwhile, Harry Potter learned to ride Buckbeak in the background. But we went anyway. I was immediately given a clean bill of health by the doctor and immediately went on a run. It is kind of timed with how like the ride actually quickens the pace. Yeah, Jarlheim's road, I guess, is again part of the Swedish or Scandinavian, at least. Back where it all began. We finally made it, but I wanted to stay with Alex. That's, I guess, why she brought me back to where I grew up rather than back to where I was stationed and employed, but, you know. I guess you're just allowed to do that now. Okay. She took me in the stable.
Oh, I forgot. If I remember this correctly, this is way before we got something called leads, where we're able to like get off our horse and use the reins to lead them into the stable.
I'm familiar with leads. I've played
after the Minecraft horse updates, yeah. Got off of... Not she got off of me, got off of me. Unless that was a command. Got off of me. Took off my tack. And left. Which is a very bad practice for horses to leave them completely unrestrained with an open door.
It's fine. It's a more sentient horse than others. Well, I say that actually. I say that. That kind of goes against like my whole belief system for animals. He's a more aware horse than others.
Yeah, I don't know if she's aware of that though.
Fair.
She was talking with someone about something I didn't know about until
she was
later.
talking to someone. Let's not say with someone, because I don't think this person knows a word she's saying.
Well, I mean, maybe. It could be a back and forth conversation.
He looks very disinterested.
Game, so...
That's an NPC, so...
He still looks He's looking literally anywhere else. Look at his face. Look at his face whenever he turns around again.
This is a problem that I had with, like, Cynic and all. Like, every time I tried to talk to Squire Banquo, just would never look me in the eye. Look at the eyes of your king, Squire. Anyway.
I will behead you. You don't want to know what happened to the last Banquo that was popularized.
But whatever he said wasn't...
Man, what a sound effect.
And we said there was no voice acting.
Voice acting.
I think that was something in
It's a stock sound, I know.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell. You can tell when crying is stock crying versus, like, actually the voice actor. Mostly because there was no voice actor, so yeah. Anyway. That...
Stein,
that horse abandoned his owner, I will show him.
That horse abandoned his owner, I will show him.
Yeah, but what's that S word, though? Like, it's right before that.
Stein!
Like, clearly...
It is supposed to be...
It is Stein.
Stein. That horse...
we are an hour and a half into this review and presumably like 11 or so minutes into the video in question, and we only now learned the main character's name. Is this
I think
No,
the other thing here is that this is the
That's not the
first
main
time we've
character.
met the antagonist.
No, that's not the main character's name. That's just that's the actual NPC name. That was just there.
This guy's name
says
is Stein.
Yes.
Oh wait, okay, so hold on, Stein. Oh, it's a colon. I think it's a colon
Yeah.
meant to be there.
Stein
couldn't see
says
that.
that horse abandoned his owner. I will show him.
Yeah, carrying a weapon that we all now said. It's a Nerf gun.
Yeah, an MS Paint gun that is also apparently a Nerf gun that he's gonna show. That he's gonna teach the horse a lesson with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Run. Right. It hurt like nothing I'd ever experienced before, except the last time I experienced it. You know, like that idea that there's somebody right in front of you also leaving, implying there's like multiple horses that have been in this situation, and Stein's after all of them. This is an unfortunate choice of shot.
Yeah, I don't mind a low angle, but I don't want to see it at that exact point of low,
yeah, that did not as well.
That's a mid. Oh my god.
Don't worry, I didn't drown. You got to see a frame of me in the water for a split second.
Don't worry, I didn't drown, I just broke my legs.
Oh yeah, Stars in Online does not
Rickle,
like
my effing leg.
If you try to swim, there's like a 5-second time limit, and then you're back on land. It's so dumb.
I mean, it's better than Sonic Boom. But I was soaked.
That's the concern we have. You screamed very loudly after falling from what seemed to be a rather large height. Off a clear dock into water.
It's also, again, depending on how deep that was, the horse either again, might have hurt its legs at the very least, or would not have been able to swim. I don't think this horse has been taught to swim. Anyway, since I was sure I would be killed if I went back, I headed towards where Alex took me when I got shot.
Since I was sure I would be killed if I went back, I was gonna go right back to the place that I was definitely shot at before. And I'm hoping it's time now.
I don't think Alex would have taken the horse that far, right? You would have thought, get to the nearest doctor or nearest vet in this case. Which is probably I would have hoped would not be that several towns over. Otherwise, it's a whole montage of Alex just power lifting this horse across the hills, Balto style. Anyway, so I guess also we're heading back to the exact same spot we were at before, which I guess means that we just went from one place to another, immediately returned to it. It was a rather long journey, you can tell. But she wasn't here. It's almost like a horse is way faster than a human, and therefore Alex would not have time to get to this place, and I also could not communicate to her to tell her that I was going here. I don't know why I expect her to be in this place. It was already a shock when I found her the first time. By the way, really bad place to stop there. It's where the guardrails have been destroyed. Anyway. Oh.
I couldn't find Alex. I think she's dead, so I'm gonna march right back to where I'll die, and hopefully I'll be satisfied then. I will die.
I waited for her. I was scared for her. What if... This can't happen to her. And it didn't happen. Just in case there's like a second where people were concerned. It didn't happen. Anyway, 2 days from my
I didn't really like sad stories. You can tell.
And why would you make that a part of the plot? If you don't like sad stories, don't write a sad story.
But she didn't write a sad story.
You came close. I was so happy.
And not sad. I've never been sad once in my life. I don't even think for a second that I've lived through hardship.
Well, I meant like as in like there's not going to be a happy ending. That's
Struggles don't exist.
Did I tell you that I think one of my earliest roleplay games that I did with my brother and 2 family friends was this thing called the Happy Kingdom, which was essentially I played the king, my brother played the princess, which he will never admit to now, but I remember happened. I forget, I think the other 2 played like animals or something like that. So and then that was it. What I just summarized there is the entire premise. We just kept the kingdom happy and no conflict was scheduled to happen. So just did random things. It was essentially what we were doing, like normally just like playing what we were doing regularly, but we just gave ourselves characters for no reason. It was objectively the worst story ever told. But we never told anyone else, so who cares?
Yeah, it was the worst story, but it was not the worst story ever told.
Because we didn't tell it. Yeah, there we go. I like that. My letter on my back. I closed my eyes in joy, and here is the one frame in which I was able to do so. And I'm not a workhorse anymore. It's like the prohibited sign over the top of this image.
I've been freed from slavery.
Yep. I guess the war prevented that industry, and the whole place of business.
The economy is dead.
I was gonna say the place of business was like blown up, and so they were no longer in operation. So I guess all the horses got released. Not that Stein figured that one out. I guess Stein just didn't get the news.
The economy crash, and my nation no longer is a thing.
On the plus side, anarchy, baby. And that's my story. Cease the means of production.
I love that quote so much. Hey, but on the plus side, anarchy, baby, and that's my story.
Starring Wolf Dancer as the horse. Okay, so we finally found out the name of the horse in the end credits.
I think she didn't give the horse a name because she didn't want to use the horse name that she named the horse. She just wanted to make it like...
Why would you not give the main character a name?
You don't have to use that name because there's no username. You said before you didn't want to use the character names because you can see like the gamer tags. but the horses don't have gamer
Look,
tags.
we were single-digit years old when this movie was in the making, and like
we didn't think about invisible gamer tags.
And we didn't think about maybe give a main character horse a name.
Man, their brains literally weren't developed yet.
I tried to tell you, baby butter.
Fine. Yeah, remember whenever we had a villain for one scene?
No, you see. Here's the thing: Stein is a celebrity actor, and so therefore his contract gave him third billing as a way to have him in the film. Sorry, I forgot your name and your horse's name.
Cadence
Horses in
Dragonborn
plural.
and Silver, or unless she's talking about someone else that was part of this project. But last time I checked, it was only Cadence Dragonborn and the horse Silver.
Yeah, which by the way, who never reappeared, which you could kind of think. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like old Zoe again in Warhorse, but yeah. But her horse played our workhorse as a foal.
Oh, that. Okay. Oh, I wonder if that's like.
There we go. Cadence Dragonborn gets a credit.
Okay, so someone's horse's fault. Okay.
Yeah. And Silver. Thanks for watching. Bye. The end.
Well, it's not at the end because there's a part 2.
Oh yes, I have heard about this part 2 that you are in.
Yeah, I am in it.
Is the sequel good?
So anyways, final thoughts.
Also, I think it might be just a little bit better because I feel like there's a bit of
Oh, so it's not a
plot.
Disney animated sequel then, I imagine, right?
Yeah, it's more effect like it has more plot. I feel like.
Okay, I'm not getting that reference.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember all the references in my head. Baby butter. It's like it's been a day.
It's not like one reference, it's more like multiple references.
Yeah.
Because Disney did a lot of animated sequels.
Yeah.
None of which were as good as the first film.
Yeah, direct to DVD, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a direct to DVD, that sort of thing, baby butter. I feel like it's better. Just because I'm in it.
Well,
that's a joke, by the way. I still think that this was a tiny bit better.
Stick with it. Go with the bit. Don't.
You're allowed to have a diva moment for once in your life.
Okay, fine. Yes, I think the sequel is better because I'm in it for like 1.2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
It saved the film. It's okay.
Exactly. I saved the film. I'm the hero.
I'm surprised you were so absent for this. Like you didn't get any roles or something.
I only did the music. I literally just oh yeah.
Okay, what do you mean you did the music?
Yeah. Why was that? Were you denied a role? Did you just not want to do it? Were you not invited to be in the role? But Cadence was.
I didn't want to do it in the first film, but I decided to join the second film. But then I couldn't do it, so I had my mom log into my account.
Wow, this blew up. I could have been famous. I need to get.
Yeah, I was saying it's like an actor coming into the sequel because the first one blew up.
And that is why
basically everyone whenever Star Wars happened, And
that's why I asked her to be part of Selena and the Keeper and let her be the Keeper. And she you know what? Since I'm gonna be the Keeper, I'm going to do my own scenes and everything, and you just have to deal with it, okay? This scene right here, we're gonna do it. Let's go. And I'm just okay.
If you want to be a coward, then I'm just gonna make my own scenes.
Honestly, I now know how you feel whenever we do reviews on your channel, and we just go into the behind the scenes information, and you get to hear about all of the wackiness that occurred.
Oh, I don't know. I have to double check, but she did a full completed series only did like season 1 on Star Stable. I'm trying to remember if I was part of that
Your
or
mom
not.
or this person?
This person.
Okay.
Because we did a lot of series together. Like, she was the keeper for Selena the Keeper. I think Aaron Wolfberg was in it as well as the bad guy that was supposed to, like,
the idea of your
get
mom,
killed
like, hey,
off.
if I have to play your character, then I get to make my own scenes. Proceeds to create an entire series.
She literally was planning to take over season 2. Like, that's why there was like one thing I was planning to do just on my own. It's like, no, I'm gonna be in it. We're gonna make this like different or whatever, and we just roll with it. Like, she was in control.
Your mom just wanted to be a script writer. That's what we're learning here.
This is
She just had a passion of a script writer, and it never panned
out
the way she was hoping.
Baby, we're not talking about KW's mum using like a game account for one cameo in the sequel. We're talking about Alexandra at the moment. Taking over one of the characters from one of KW's this series, but they're making her own series, like a spin-off based on that character, if I'm understanding this correctly.
No,
man, what a convoluted story.
She like basically took over like the scenes in my show. So like whatever I had initially for her character, she's like, yeah, no, we're gonna scrap that and we're gonna do this instead.
Okay, so definitely, she was definitely the diva of the pair of you then in that case.
She's like, no. She's like, no. Let's make it like a chase scene. And
nah. I don't do Monans.
Yeah, so she was such a fun friend though, like doing a lot of Star Stable series or whatever. Like, I'm so glad I met her and everything like that.
Well, fair enough then. Hopefully she enjoys this reaction and this
I don't know if she knows this reaction or not, but I know I did told her mom. And the mom was like, you make sure your friends be nicer because she was this who made this film. I'm like,
well,
I'll make sure.
That's great. Maybe go back and tell 6-year-old fellow to make a better movie then, huh? How about that? Yeah, shame on that little 6-year-old.
Alexandra's mom, please excuse Baby Butter's bad behavior. This is how Baby Butter is. Like, don't.
I mean, that is blatant sarcasm, so I think we're fine.
I regret nothing.
That was also blatant sarcasm. Right. But anyway, as far as like the actual, we have no actual final thoughts. So KW asked me if this would actually surprise me, and it did quite significantly. I mean, I can see that there was a bit of a misunderstanding of like how the main formula of these movies would work, and a few different story beats. I think I mentioned this earlier that when in a Guts review, that when you're younger, you get this you have this idea of a story in your head, and then and you recognize like the specific like significant beats, but not necessarily how they're going to flow together. So you end up showing off those particular beats, but you don't recognize that there's like gaps involved, because to you it makes perfect sense because you're auto filling in your mind. I think that's kind of what happened here, because there was no mention of the war again. Silver vanishes from the existence of the Earth, and so does Cadence for that matter. Because Silver got deployed as a workhorse, but Cadence would have presumably still stuck around. So no other scenes involving that character. Of course, Alex's name change was just like a basic error. I presume that there was like no script for this. I say this knowing full well, so I guess it was just so it was captioned. So that's so actually that's another issue that I did expect to happen this time.
Selena and the Keeper was sort of like with Komai, where it's like there was like scene scripts, but not like dialogue or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, by actual standards, this was not a good thing to watch. By a 6-year-old standards, however, this was kind of a masterpiece. There were some actually decent ideas here.
Yeah, no, yeah. I honestly think, like, given the fact that this was made when she was a single-digit year old, is like quite impressive for me. Like honestly, if she made this like today's age right now, where she's a lot older and able to do a lot more stuff and everything, then yeah, it's definitely not great. But for me, I think at that young age to try to do something big as this, I feel like you did a lot of good.
By today's standards, it's a grim war epic about the decline of a nation and about a labor abuse.
See, in the industry, we call those happy accidents when, because it worked out, but it wasn't necessarily the original intention. And that's what art is. You can read a lot into it, even if that wasn't the first intent.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for better or worse, it depends, because some people have less than charitable interpretations of what you do. But in this case,
I don't know for sure, but she was into like rescuing animals and everything like that. So if this was her intention to talk about like the issues with Workhorse and stuff like that, I think that's where
it was tradition to talk about bad
bringing
things
aware
in the world
of
in general.
that.
Actually,
yeah. I mean, if I made a Thomas the Tank Engine thing at this exact age, I probably would have done it about some sort of revolt that the train would have against Sir Topham Hatt. Just
yeah.
Again,
I'm not saying that that's part. I'm not saying that was it, but like I remember like if you watch some like the videos or whatever, she was into like rescuing animals and stuff like that. And so
yeah, I mean, I like
she is to say, but
whenever I get around one day to making superhero comics, whenever that day comes, I too will get political.
I did compare this to Warhorse, and in a lot of ways, it actually does kind of remind me of the plot of Warhorse. Where you start off with like the horse growing up has a human best friend, eventually has to be separated, not to become a workhorse in this case. That was like an extra step, just like specifically because like they needed horses for the war effort. So directly involving that, battle occurs, horse gets separated, finds its way back, almost gets sold. All grown up is there. That's in broad terms what happens in Warhorse. And in this one, it's kind of seems fairly similar. Although I don't expect that Warhorse was one of the stories.
We never watched it back then.
Yeah,
we watched
that one
it
is a bit
when
grim. That one's too grim, I think.
Yeah,
I think this would have been grim if it were made today. I think if you had a slightly more developed brain and you looked at this and then you remade a script with actual love and care by modern skills, I think this would be a fairly grim movie.
Yeah.
Potentially, that's if you decide to even keep all the story beats in the first place. You're going to argue that Stein is an incredibly pointless character. Alex showing up by sheer power of will and coincidence also does not hold up to scrutiny. And the idea of like all of these different things solving themselves in very short amounts of time. The whole movie takes place over the course of like a week, minus the growing up scene, if you actually add all the dates together.
Yeah, I think in this case, this probably wouldn't be like person v person type of conflict, which I think is maybe what they were trying to do, and then they didn't. I think if they actually made this, it would lean a lot closer to something a bit more abstract, like character v nature, character v society.
Yeah, if she made it now and everything like that, and made it a lot 10 times better, with like what she had learned and everything. But like I said, I think for a single-digit-year-old, it was pretty good for that sort of thing. At least for me,
and also at technical level, I'll extend some praise to you as well for the sound effects and for the music. Admittedly, we're not copyright sources, but you weren't to know about that at the time, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I literally.
I wish your audio.
Well, she edited the audio. I just found the audio.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Okay, whoever did the audio engineering, I wish could have done a little bit of a better job. Man, that was a loud video.
Actually, that might have been because of me, because I didn't turn down the volume this time.
Well, yeah, but like it shouldn't have been that loud anyways, though. I don't think,
Restream
right?
might amplify it. You probably should check on the actual video to see how it would actually sound.
Okay, see, I thought Restream's like cap is up to like the video's cap.
No, I don't think so. Last time I checked.
No, that's why I turned down the volume of a lot of restream gacha reviews, because that's always how it goes, especially when they have like loud intros at the beginning. That's that's a thing I had to deal with. Like Mimi XD, for example, that was one of the louder intros, and also the Green Knight. But yeah, I think that's it. Looking forward to watching the sequel and seeing just how fleeting KW's cameo actually was in reality. Because every single description makes it sound less impressive.
I'm gonna place a bet right now. I'm gonna place a bet right now for the sequel. I'm gonna say whenever we watch the sequel, if we looked at it by modern eyes, I think if we looked at it by modern eyes, I bet you right now the sequel and the first one probably could fit in the same movie.
I don't know about that. This one did actually have a concrete beginning, middle, and end, which was a concern we had at the beginning, by the way. Like it had like a few of the elements of hero's journey, you know, give or take a couple, which is how story varies. Sometimes
it depends on what we have in the sequel, but that's I think there's gonna be elements in the sequel that would have fit here.
I guess that would kind of like tie the two together in theory. I mean, this one I could have done with a few like changed scenes here and there, rather like a few more, a few less, depending on like what was added and what was removed. But other than that, like it actually followed us some form of story structure, and clearly had an idea of how it was going to conclude. So I'm not sure if like that just would have been like an extended sequel. I don't think that would necessarily match.
Fair warning.
I know that at the beginning it felt like it was going to go from jumping from one thing to another while it was still setting up the emotional arc, but afterwards it kind of sorted itself out.
Yeah, well, fair warning, I am pretty much fashionable in the sequel because I did not care trying to get like the best tech or gear to make my horse run faster or anything like that. I only care that the outfit and attack matches the horse and I look stylish.
Well, I look forward to the obligatory running scene that you're just going to be lagging far behind for. Like, I just imagine like a scene where like, Alexander has to constantly slow down and trot while you just like catch up with full sprints or something.
It's fine. The camera can like be on the front of the horse, and so it'll be like those moments in like romance movies where you get like an extended shot on the hot girl like in slow motion.
It's like, there she comes. She's still coming.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
So it's
still
like
far enough from the horizon. Yep. She's still there, still looking fabulous.
Oh, okay. It's a year later. So, oh my god, I'm actually in the thumbnail of the sequel. Oh no.
Well, it looks like okay. Just got more impressive. Looking forward to that. But now we'll get back to some gachas in Minecraft or something. So until then, please either like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe to us already and hit notifications. I keep forgetting to say that. But on that note, until next time.